Good evening, everyone. I'm Andy Silvera. I'm an assistant professor at the Goa Institute of Management in Goa. When I grew up in Goa, as a young boy, there were moments when I was beginning to find myself, to discover who I am as a person. And as I first began to have my thoughts of and feelings of attractions towards others, I remember quite in school, a friend of mine giving me a book. It was a small little pocket book of the kind of questions that young Christians kind of have as youth. And the first page that I went on to was a chapter on sexuality. And it was incidental also that they said that perhaps for a lot of you would have happened to come to this chapter first. So as I was reading that, I began to realize that talking about our faith, especially when it comes to Christianity and the way it talks about, there was this chapter on homosexuality, and I began to realize that having any conversation on homosexuality was almost anathema. It was just something that one wouldn't want to do. And that also kind of made me close up to any exploration outside within what was there in my mind. And yet, as I was going about with my everyday life, I was beginning to sense my greater attraction first to my teacher, then my other feelings with other boys, although it was just something that was within me. So as I grew up, I realized that I knew very clearly that I would not want to get married to a woman. That was something that I was very certain about. And when I was weighing my options, because this was way long ago when we didn't even have words like gay available to us, So I thought that the best way to live my life was to join the priesthood and live in the company of men. And I thought that that was something that was wonderful in itself. And that's how I happened eventually to join the Society of Jesus. And while I was in the order, I think I lived my life to the best way possible, in the best and truest way possible. Even though I knew that I was attracted to men, I said, my vow, my vocation was that I have to be honest to myself, and irrespective of whether I'm attracted to men or women, in the order, I take the vow of chastity. And God has made me perfect the way He did. So it so happened that we were three of us in the family. My younger sister once, when I happened to come home while I was doing my philosophy. So one day I happened to come home just for a very short time. It was my younger sister who said that she wanted to share something with me. And I said, go ahead, Nancy, tell me what you want to say. And she said that she never wanted to get married. Now, at that time, Nancy was just 20. And when she uttered those words, I kind of knew exactly what she was trying to articulate. So there are certain things within the family that we know about each other, but yet we do not want to say it. So when Nancy was saying that she did not want to get married, I kind of knew that she was not really interested in men. And at that point in time, I myself, though I knew that at one level that I was attracted to men, I was saying to myself, I have chosen a way of life. I have chosen a way of life where my questions of my choice would not be questioned. And here I felt it was my own sister who's trying to, at that point in time, I was not very open to having this conversation. So it was my own sister who was saying that she did not want to get married. And I was really confused at that moment while having this conversation. And I said, Nancy, you have a long way to go. You're just 20. No one is asking you to get any time married soon. And with that, the conversation kind of got deferred. And about 4 months later, when I came back to Goa, and again, I was having a conversation with her, My sister told me of how she was feeling really depressed. And it was more because she was in love with somebody, a nun, and the nun had stopped talking to her. And because of that, I think that for her at that point in time, that relationship meant a lot. So in those moments of feeling uncomfortable with herself, even though she was a very good swimmer, she tied a bag of stones to her body and and breathed the river into her. And what happened was she had left a diary, and when she left that diary, there were so many pages. It was like literally, uh, she was pouring out her heart. She was talking about, her feelings of confusion, of attraction. Uh, she was talking about the faith, how she was feeling mixed up in terms of how, what the church expected her to be and what her feelings were as a person. And also, she had torn a lot of pages away because she probably knew that she was leaving these behind. And that reading those pages, especially in terms of how the Catholic faith kind of had such an impact in terms of her way of thinking and the kind of guilt that she carried, just in terms of her thoughts of what she was feeling, was something that was such an eye opener for me. That even though when I was in the order, I had never thought that I would ever see myself outside it. But then that moment in her life, in our lives, actually made me think. I said, what is it that the church has bequeathed to us? And I said, one thing is definitely that it has given us a lot of guilt. And for me, that was something that was like a weight on me. And I was thinking a lot about a lot of questions. I was asking myself, even if I were to be a priest, what is it that I would really want to do? I felt that I would want to be working among lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer people. And I said, I don't think that would be possible, because at that point in time, I didn't really see it possible within the church. And I said, if I have one life to live, as much a right as any something where, I am part of an institution, I'm speaking for from a space which is inclusive of as many people rather than exclusive. And I think that was what also made me leave the order, because I first felt it was necessary for me to be true to myself. And to be true to myself, I had to speak up for what I believed in. And that's how my journey evolved. Thankfully, over the years of leaving, it took so much more time to actually get rid of all the negativity that, somehow uh, certain aspects of our faith kind of bring us, kind of instill in us, to be open to ourselves, to be open to our feelings of attraction, to sexuality, to understand that the sacredness of life, that, every life is sacred and that we have to honor it. And it first starts with understanding that I have to be true to myself. For me, that is what Christianity is all about, of being honest to oneself and understanding that, the temple of the Holy Spirit resides in each one of us, including me, and how I have to respect that. Thankfully, over these years of being involved in different spaces, in different movements, I've seen so much of change. I've seen so much of openness, whether being working in the corporate space or now in the educational space. I see that some of these conversations are happening and flourishing with a lot of openness, and that gives me a lot of hope that, there are so many more advocates speaking up for us. But I really feel that when it comes to the church, we have a long way to go. And thankfully, a space like this, and there are many others who are making this possible even within the Catholic Church. I'm grateful to be in a relationship with a wonderful person, your Roshan. And one of the things that we do as a couple over here, or at least we strive to do, is through our engagements, whether it's even through our research that we do, we are trying to share stories of how, the church impacts LGBT people. So we also have conversations, sometimes even thankfully with the parish priest here, who's quite open to listening to some of these stories. So we're just hoping that slowly, just by having these conversations, we can create these spaces of openness that, that even our love has of love to be expressed, to be blessed, to be honored within the space of the church. I don't know whether that will be possible. I'm sure it will be possible at some time, but I also feel we have a lot of work to be done as well to make that happen. So with that, thank you, everybody.